Unit 3, video number 12, more real-world applications. All right, Sally has a $25 gift card for music downloads. Each song costs $1 to download. The amount of money left on the card can be represented by the function m of d equals 25 minus d, where d is the number of songs she has downloaded. First thing it asks me to do is make a table and graph the function. So I'm going to make a table where I have D, so my amount of downloads, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could keep going. That's the amount of downloads. My function, m of D, so what's happening to this. And then I'm going to go ahead and write it, D, comma, m of D, so it's in my basic x, y form when I think of an ordered pair, okay? So when I'm just going to plug in the function up here. You see the function is right here. So when I plug in a 0 for D, I get a 25. So then this would be 0, 25. When I plug in a 1 for D, I get 24. So 1, 24. I get 23 when I plug in a 2, 2, 23. And I get 22 when I plug in a 3. Catching on to the pattern that this is. 21 for 4, 4, 21, 20 for 5, 5, 20, 19 for 6, 6, 19, and so on if I went all the way with it. Then it asked me to actually draw a graph. So here is my graph. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my number downloads. Because again, that's like my X. And over here, I have money left on card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to take this, and we're saying this right up here is 25. Approximately. Understanding maybe I didn't get all the hashes in there. So with the graph, at 0, I'm at 25. At 1, I'm going down 1, going down 1, going down 1, going down 1. So you're catching on, my slope is going down 1, going down 1, going down 1. Eventually I'm going to get to 0. You could say, well, when are you going to get to 0? Hey, when I have 25, this becomes a 0. This becomes 25, comma, 0. That's when I would be at 0. All right, so we're still talking about Sally, her $25 gift card for music downloads. Each song costs $1 to download. The amount of money left on the card can be represented by the function m of d equals 25 minus d, where d is the number of songs she has downloaded. They asked me to identify the domain and range of the function and explain the relationship they have on the situation. Well, we just graphed it, so hopefully this looks familiar. The domain is my x values. So my domain is anywhere from 0 to 25, because I know I'm including anything from 0 to 25. My range, even though I technically start at 25, is also anywhere from 0 to 25. I cannot go below 0. I cannot go above 25, because that is the amount of money I have on the card. And I can't add money to it. It is a gift card, okay? So then it asks, well, basically what I just said. The relationship, you can only download or have up to 25 songs, because we're assuming every song costs the same $1, okay? And then how does this work? Well, the domain and range, and this goes back to video 1, are identical since the limit applies to each. Since the limit applies to each of them. Because again, can't get more than 25 songs if they only cost $1 and you only have $25. All right, 2 friends chose to register for a social media group. The number of messages / likes received by the first friend on day n is given by the equation m equals 8n. The graph shows the number of messages received by the second friend on day n, where n is the number of days since joining the group. Explain the difference in the rates of change in the number of messages the first friend receives and the number of messages the second friend receives. Okay, so as I added here in blue text, the first friend receives a constant 8 messages per day. That's what this equation is standing for, 8 times whatever day it is. They're constantly getting that. So it is a linear function. It's going to be one of these. Actually, it's going to be steep. It's going to be real steep on this graph. And then so it's a linear function because that's exactly what this equation is. The second friend's rate is constantly increasing and is modeled over here by an exponential. Anytime you see this curvy and it's going really strict like that, it is an exponential function. That's what you would write to answer that. So now they want to know whose number of daily messages is increasing more rapidly. Justify your answer. All right, so knowing what we know now about exponentials and linear and what the graphs looked like, especially if you sketched out that 8n, the second friend is increasing more rapidly, especially as the days increase. Maybe not on day 1, as we saw, maybe not even on day 2, but as it gets more and more, they're going exponential, so they're going to be increasing much more rapidly. The first friend will continue to increase 8 each day, but they're constant at that, while the second friend is exponential and going much faster.